We have breaking news. Families of Americans taken hostage by Hamas are speaking at the White House after meeting with President Biden. Let's listen.
Rose on October 7th. We met today with President Biden and other people from the administration. It was a terrific meeting and conversation. I think we all came away feeling that as families of hostages, of American-Israeli hostages, which are 8 out of a total of 138 hostages, we felt that, and we felt before, and we were only reinforced in seeing and believing that we could have no better friend in Washington or in the White House than President Biden himself and his administration.
Pope Francis today called for an immediate release of all the hostages. Do you believe the Vatican can help bring your loved ones home?
I'll add, I'm Liz Hirsch-Naftali. I'm Abigail Edon Moore's great aunt, and we are blessed because she is back with her family after she was a hostage for 50 days and witnessed both of her parents being murdered on October 7th. And what I can tell you is that Abigail is a miracle. She is a light in this very dark time. And metaphorically, a lot of our families that are here today, and we are all one big family looking to get all of these people's sons and fathers and mothers out, that we are here because the president and his team have been bringing out light in this dark time. And Abigail, who is a 4-year-old, is a symbol of that light. And as we come to the Christmas holiday, I hope that the Pope continues to speak and others around the world not only pray, but pray for us, pray for our families, pray for our leaders, pray for the president, and that the Pope and all that he can do is to push. We love a Christmas miracle. We would love all of our loved ones to come back and be with us for Christmas. So when you talk about the Pope, our hope is that he and others like himself will influence these people in the Middle East that are all actors in this part of getting these hostages out. And that is all of our hope for a Christmas miracle.
Can you talk about what kind of communication you guys have been getting? Are you getting updates on a daily basis? What kind of communication you've been getting from the White House? And thank you, of course, for talking with us.
Yeah, well, I can say this. Since a day or two after the massacre on October 7th and the mass hostage-taking by Hamas, we all began to be contacted by representatives of the United States government, the embassy in Israel, State Department, Secretary Blinken, and within just a few short days, President Biden was on a video call with us. And since that time, we've been in frequent and very transparent contact with administration officials, and we've also really benefited, I think, and most importantly, our sons, daughters, fathers, sisters, brothers, mothers have also really seen how, in a very divided time, members of Congress, members of the Senate, from wall to wall, have shown solidarity with us.
For those of you still waiting word on your loved ones and their release, was the president able to share anything about their condition, about where they are?
Yeah, we're going to keep the content of the conversation private. It was a private meeting between representatives of the 8 families still, and a 9th family, or 2 other families whose loved ones have been released already. But we are going to keep the private conversations private.
Obviously the world witnessed the great miracle, as you indicated, when some of the hostages were freed as a function of the temporary ceasefire. What specifically are you requesting of the U.S. going forward to secure the release of your loved ones? And as it relates to the desire for another ceasefire right now, is there any more information that you learned about the potential that could happen anytime soon?
Well, as I said before, we're going to keep the private conversations private. What we do know, and we've seen that the U.S. administration, from the previous round of negotiations and hostage release, the U.S. administration is completely committed to getting the hostages out, the 8 Americans who remain there, and the other nearly 130. We have no doubt about that. And today's meeting with President Biden and Secretary Blinken only reinforced that, and that they are willing and ready to do all that they possibly can by any number of means to get the hostages home.
Did they send
And
a press
also
release?
not, one second, and also not just to talk about them as hostages, but to talk about them as people. And that is what the President and Secretary Blinken understand, is that they're just not numbers and they're just not faces. They are sons. They are sons. They are grandparents. They are mothers. And that is what the President and his team understand. And this is our last question, so I'm just going to answer by saying we are thankful to the President and to his team, because we know that they are working 24 hours a day, and they are going to work through the holidays, and they are going to do everything they can to make sure that all of our loved ones, real people, come home to us and to the families across the world and in Israel. Thank you so much. No, thank you.
Without getting into names, did you receive any new information today about your family members' whereabouts?
Those were the families of 8 Americans still unaccounted for after being taken hostage by Hamas. They have just had a meeting with President Biden, what they are calling a terrific meeting and conversation. They say they're keeping the content of those conversations they had with the president private, but they say they're very thankful that this White House is doing everything they can to get their loved ones back. And again, they are reiterating that they feel they have been in constant and transparent contact with the White House since their loved ones were taken. Also, thanking Congress for a show of solidarity they feel they've had behind them ever since their family members were taken. When asked about any progress on the negotiations, they again said that they were going to keep that part of the conversation private, but the big emphasis from the families today is both gratitude to the White House and also the emphasis that these hostages are not just hostages. They are sons, they are grandfathers, they are mothers, they are people, and people, of course, that their families miss and want to see come home.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.